Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to show you how my latest draft looks like. And let's get straight into it. Welcome back to FPL Mike. This is a channel where we talk about all things FPL, and let's get straight into it. So in goalkeeper, I've gone with a Flecken and Valdemarsen's double up on that Brentford goalkeeper rotation, because I think this is the safest way to get your goalkeeper in play every single game week, because they are the only two goalkeeper Brentford have, I believe, or at least they're the two main. Yeah, they're the only two goalkeepers Brentford have. So even when Flecken doesn't play, Valdemarsen will take his position and play as well. So that guarantees a 38 game week that you have a goalkeeper to play. You don't have to struggle in the situation where there's no one to play for in that goalkeeper position. So that's why I've gone for a double up in Brentford. Of course, you can go for another 4 million goalkeeper, because they barely get into your team anyway in the season. But I think this is probably the safest way to get points, at least points in minutes played. So that's why a double up on Brentford goalkeeper is what I've chosen now. In backline, Robinson, Dunk, and Alexander-Arnold are keeping their position for now. There's no Trent is just so good. The attacking threat from Trent in that Liverpool defense is phenomenal. I could switch it to Robertson, but I'm not sure if his minutes is guaranteed or in some situations. So I didn't go for Robertson yet. But if in the next few games in pre-season or in the first few games we've seen Robertson provide enough minutes and similar attacking threat with Trent, I might switch it to Robertson and gives the extra 1 million budget to somewhere else. Robertson, again, talked about it a lot of times. Yeah, just a very, very good player. And Lewis Dunk as well, recently comeback played for Brighton. The new coach seems to play a 3 at the back system, and Lewis Dunk is going to be the main man in that 3 at the back system, so he's going to be in there. And then Mikalenko for Joachim Andersen. Mikalenko, for me, the Everton defense is really, really solid last season, and I think under Sean Dyche, that wouldn't change a lot this season, because last season he got 3.6 points per match, and he's the cheapest Everton defender you can get. 28 starts, and they got 9 clean sheets, which is pretty good among the Premier League team. Only 40 expected goal conceded, shows how solid that defense is. And they got a pretty decent opening fixture despite the Spurs and Villa game. So Mikalenko is in the team. I think I just trust Everton defense more. That's probably the reason. And then the last defender, I've gone with another premium defender, that is Josko Gvardiol. Last season, at the end of last season, he performed phenomenal for Man City. He even played some of the left wing that time. And in the preseason, he starts every game. Although he do play some left centre back in the game because due to some players out injured or didn't come back. But most likely he's going to play the left back position for Man City next season. And I think his place is guaranteed because there's no a traditional left back for Man City in that position. And I think Nathan Ake or Akanji are not as good as Josko Gvardiol. So I think he's nailed on the start, and he's got the attacking threat you need. He can play left wing. Can you imagine that? A defender can play left wing. So yeah, he's amazing. He's unbelievable. So Gvardiol is going to be in my team, at least for the start of the season. Despite Chelsea, they got Ipswich at home, West Ham away, and Brentford at home. There's 3 solid fixtures. You could potentially see 3 clean sheets from those 3 games, and there's no reason not to go for him. So yeah, Gvardiol is my last defender in the latest draft. Moving on to midfield, I still got Mo Salah in my team. He's not going anywhere, at least. So consistent, just so consistent. The main man in that Liverpool attack. No one else is guaranteed despite Mo Salah. So I think Mo Salah is going to be in my team, in my game week 1 team, especially with Ipswich away. He's going to be my captain option in game week 1. So there's no doubt about Mo Salah there. And then I still got Nkunku, of course. He performs as phenomenal as well in Chelsea's pre-season. 3 goal, 1 assist in the US tour. take on penalties. Even Cole Palmer not back. He's gonna play. Although Maresca didn't say he's gonna be a nailed on number 10 for them, he could play left wing. He could be a false number 9. He could play everywhere in their front court, and he's attacking threat. We know what he can do with his attack, score, shoot, assist. He can do everything in Leipzig, and I believe he can convert that to Chelsea as well. And seems like the locker room problem in Chelsea has been solved. So there's no reason that I don't trust Nkunku to do well in Chelsea. And at 6.5 million, he could be a bargain for me. He is a bargain for me. So, and despite City, fantastic fixtures from game week 2 to 7. Green fixture you can see. So there's no reason to not go for him. And Nkunku is the second midfielder. The third one is another player that in my bargain midfielder video, and that is Leon Bailey. He also performed really well for Aston Villa. He started in every single preseason matches. He's the only right winger in that Villa team. He will get some goals. He will get assists. He's probably the second best option under Ollie Watkins. I believe Leon Bailey can have a phenomenal season. Because last season we already see what he can do even after Moussa Diaby left. After he started instead of Moussa Diaby. And now Moussa Diaby left, so there's no reason don't trusting Leon Bailey on that right wing. And Aston Villa is just overall a very, very solid team. So there's no reason to not go for him at this price tag. He's really, really cheap, and he could perform really, really well, just like Nkunku. So that's Leon Bailey there. And then the 6.5 million midfielder I've gone with is Morgan Gibbs-White, because he's the core of that Nottingham Forest team. He's got 5 goals and 12 assists in the last 2 seasons. There's no reason to not go for him at this price tag as well. It looks like a cheap midfield, but I think this 6.5 million midfielders can provide you loads of attacking returns if you need it. So I think Morgan Gibbs-White is a very, very solid options. Plus, they have a pretty good opening fixtures. I believe they got Bournemouth, and then they got some other teams that are easy to play. So Morgan Gibbs-White could give you quite a lot of returns in those few games. So Morgan Gibbs-White is going to be in my team for game week 1. Unless I plan to bring Haaland in later on, because I do thinking that, because that game week 2 against Ipswich at home could be a massive game. Like, could be a Haaland. If you don't got Haaland, you got to think about it, whether you can afford the Ipswich home game, because I think City are going to crash them. Like, there's no reason City is not going to crash Ipswich in that game. So, yeah, at least for now, Morgan Gibbs-White is going to be in the team. And the last midfielder, instead of Bukayo Saka, I've gone with Heung-min Son. Probably it's because the opening 2 fixtures are too good for me to slip past through. Leicester away and Everton at home. I think Son, we all know what he can do in that Spurs team. And with no one else coming in, Heung-min Son is going to be on everything. On penalties, he's on free kick. He's probably even on corners. He's the main goal threat for Spurs. 17 goal attendances in a very poor Spurs season last time shows how amazing his individual ability is. So there's no reason not to try trust Son. I do struggling quite a bit here on what the second premium midfielder is going to be, because I can get Cole Palmer in somewhat, but I think he's a bit over. I think he's just too overperformed for me. I'm not sure he can replicate that. What he does last season, it seemed ridiculous. And a 50% selected rate, like I don't really trust him. So that's why I'm not going for him. Foden again is a really good player. 9.5 million, 6.6 points per match last season. But he's probably not going to start in the first few games because he just came back from the national duties with England. And we all know what Pep Guardiola loves to do. And City got the bench to rotate Phil Foden. So that's why I haven't go for him. So now he's really just between Saka and Heung-min Son. And Saka probably the same problem. He might not be fully fit in game week 1. against Wolves. So after Wolves is Villa, I think. So it's some tough fixtures for Arsenal. So that's why I'm not going for Bukayo Saka as well. Because we know Son got a full pre-season and he's got Leicester and Everton in the first 2 game weeks. So that's probably what makes me slide towards Son a little bit more. But it all could be changed before game week can start. Because we still got 2 weeks. We only got 2 weeks. And there's still a lot of things could change. And Franco, I've got a bit of an update from Darwin Núñez to Ollie Watkins. Because I'm struggling quite between, not because he's the player that you will go for, right? Like at that price tag, and he's the only good premium forward you want to go for. I mean, of course, I can downgrade Watkins to a Solanke because I don't think he can get that many assists this season again. I can downgrade Watkins to Solanke and upgrade my 6.5 million midfielder to a Gordon or an Eze or something and put money in the bank as well. But I think to try for Ollie Watkins, at least in this draft, I think Villa will have again a pretty phenomenal season this season. And I think Bailey and Watkins are two of the most attacking threat in that Villa team. I think most goals will come from those two people. So that's why I've gone for Ollie Watkins. I do think about taking Haaland in. Because if I take Haaland in, right, I have to take Haaland in and I have to get Son out. I also have to get Vardy out. So it's going to be Haaland, a defender, a 4.5 million defender, or a 5 million. Yeah, I'm going to go 4.5. Joachim Anderson, and then a 5.5. It will be. I like the idea of the Brighton's new midfielder Minter. So that's what going to be the Haaland draft looks like, but it kind of make the midfield a little bit weak though. So I'm not really sure whether I'm gonna change to here or no. So at least for now, I'm gonna go for this one, and I think Ollie Watkins is just promising for me. Ollie Watkins is overall promising. He's going to get you goals. I do think about Solanke because I think he's a very, very, very good player as well. I see 10% people chose him. I think he could do. He's just consistent. We know what he can does. So yeah, and of course the other two are Isaac and Pedro. There's no change in that. And that's my current draft right now, and is ranked 94 in the Fantasy Football Hub AI ratings. It's a very, very solid one. I tried lows, but I can't get to 95. 94 is the highest I got. I think overall this is a really, really good team. And this could be a bench boost team in game week 1 if you want to try that, really. Because they got really good fixtures. Or even you want to try in game week 2, that's also possible. I think Pedro, Brighton, I don't know who Brighton got. But I think this could be a pretty good bench boost team if you want to go in game week 1. And his overall is a solid team. It gives you a very good 15-man rotation. I mean, you can downgrade Vardy out to a 4 million defender and add that to your midfield. You can get a Gordon and an Eze. But I think the difference between those two, between Gordon and Eze and Gibbs White and Kunku or Bailey, is not that big. So I tend to have another premium defender in my team. And yeah, that's today's video concluded. And I'm going to do the series tomorrow about who the player to note is in Aston Villa team. And don't forget to subscribe and check that out tomorrow. And we'll see you guys soon. Peace.